What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I wanted us to make a really cool beat. What we're going to work with is a thing called the DFAM. And what the DFAM is a lot of words. A semi-modular analog percussion synthesizer. 5 words. A lot of words. It's a thing by Moog. It's over here. I got this camera. It's pointing over at this thing. And what it is it works like a modular synthesizer. So it takes voltage and it controls voltage. It starts with oscillators. These oscillators create a voltage. This voltage gets passed through a bunch of things like filters and envelopes, and all this shit does is subtract different things out of the voltage. This is usually used in electronic music. What Moog has done is put it in a percussion synthesizer where it's all about drums. And so before this video started, I created a little something on it and then sampled it into Machine, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, pretty clear. And I sampled it in, and the Moog is designed in such a way that there's no tuning. So it could have been C, D, E, whatever it was. It just sounded good, right? And so I brought it into Machine, tuned it. So we got it tuned into a G. And then from that, we're gonna build an entire track on top of it. And I've got us some tracks already set up. I've got some mallets. I got a drum kit. I got some vocals, and I got a lead. And using all this stuff, I feel like we can make 8 bars. We can make 16 bars. And we'll see what we can do. Before we get into it, I want to say one thing. 2 things. 1, thank you very much for coming to the channel and watching this video. It's really awesome to be able to share this music with you. 2, on the topic of sharing music, I really hope we all do more of this more often. Over the last 2 years, but more importantly, over the last couple of weeks, a lot of shit's been going on in our country. And I feel like there's a lot of divide between one side and the other, feelings of us versus them. And I think music is a universal element that lives inside all of us. And it's something that can tie us together. And it's something that I hope can start to minimize that divide that seems to exist between us, where there's a lot of hatred and there's a lot of lack of kindness and a lack of compassion. So I hope that by putting out this kind of music, we all can start to share more of it and share more of ourselves through it. So that's that. I'll stop talking. I'll start playing the track, and then we're just gonna build. And we're kind of gonna just jam out today. So I've got the screen recording, I got a bunch of cameras going, and so everybody should be able to see everything that's going on. And I'll do a little bit of talking, but primarily I wanna start a vibe, and we're gonna get to it now. So this is what the DFAM sounds like once it's all sampled in. Let's put some drums to that. Vibe. That's a vibe and a half, man. So that's the DFAM, and that's some drums. And that was with some hi-hat triplets, 16ths and 32nds, and just fucking around with the kick and placing the kick in various places. And it was kind of like not so precise. Didn't touch the mouse. So we don't have to get too precise with plugging in a pattern. Here, if you look at the screen, you'll see their kick and snare placed in a bunch of different kind of odd places, but it's got a vibe. So now we can go in, we can add some mallets. These mallets come from a VST that Native Instruments just released called Mallet Flux, and they sound kind of crazy. So I feel like the DFAM, it's kind of in the lower frequencies. Our drums, kind of higher up because we've got the hi-hat and that snare punching in, and now we'll put some mallets in. We'll have to mess around a little bit and see where they could get placed, but I think we can do something kind of cool. So we're in G minor, and we'll lay down a little progression. The progression we're going to lay down is called a 2-5-1. So I think A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So yeah, I don't know what that's going to be. It's probably going to be a G, a C minor, and an F. And I think from that, we'll be able to continue to build on. So let's get to it. Let's get back into it. Sweet. All right, we got our DFAM, got our drums, we got some mallets. Let's put some vocals in. We have two different vocal kits that we're using, by the way. One is from Arcade, obviously, because I'm obsessed with Arcade. It's from the Hooked kit. I got some new shit out. Check it out. And the other is from Exhale, both coincidentally Output products. So Output, if you're looking for me to test some stuff, looking for a sponsor, send me my way. Cool. So when we were in there, I started messing with the levels a little bit because when we started, we weren't really mixing anything together. But now we have a lot of sounds coming together. And so I'm not doing anything with equalizers right now. There's no EQing. I'm just going in, kind of messing with the relative levels from a volume perspective of each of the different tracks. And so, you know, not too serious, just trying to make sure that like you could hear the vocals and that the drums weren't too loud and that the DFAM wasn't coming through too crazy because it has a lot of stuff going on right now. So let's go back in there, let's add in our lead, let's finish our bars. Woo! Okay, sweet. So we got a scene. We got to put together. I think we got 4 bars, rocking twice. So that's a good 8-bar loop. And let's go in, let's create a second scene and see what we can come up with and start arranging some shit. So I'm back in Machine, I got a second scene created, and in each of the scenes, I'm gonna just pick some of our original patterns. So the first pattern I'm gonna pick is our mallets, and let's do mallets and vocals in this one. We'll use our mallets as the bass and we'll add some vocals to it. So let's get to it. Fire. So now we can go in and start to put some drums down. Our first drum pounding was crazy. We started with those triplets and the hi-hats, and so now we can kind of calm down a little bit. We had like a 16th vibe going with the DFAM for our first scene. This one already starts to sound a little bit more chill. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put some drums down. I'm not gonna use note repeat or anything on Machine. We're just gonna kind of punch them in on the pads and go for something a little bit more chill. This will kind of pull back the track as we start to arrange it. So I'm gonna go into our drums and let's just play it through once. We'll kind of get a vibe for it. Cool. That sounds really good, I think. So the next thing we can do is go into our other vocal kit and layer some vocals on top of that. And I think that'll probably wrap up our scene. Also, I know I lied about not using any note repeats because I put some 16ths in, but like I can't help it. So here we are in our second vocal group in Machine. And this is the one from Arcade. Sounds like this. That sounds crazy, right? So they're kind of like longer loops of vocals. So we're gonna have to kind of figure out where we can place them. So I'm not gonna know right off the bat, but let's feel. Fire. We have two patterns now. So let's start with our first pattern that we laid down, our first scene, I should say, and then we'll transition into our second scene and kind of sound like, see what we got going on. Let's ready, do it. That shit's got a vibe. So let's do a third scene, and let's take some of the stuff from the first scene and put it into that third scene because it kind of starts off hot, especially with that lead. Kind of came in way too hot for my taste. So let's do our DFAM sounding like this. Is that our mallets? Dig that. And then we'll go into our second C. That's fire. I really dig that. That was cool. I dig that. So that was a lot of fun. I hope you can see how using a bunch of different things that kind of wouldn't sound like they go together, like a semi-modular synthesizer and mallets and vocals, kind of more urban sounding kit, put some fire together, right? So yeah, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If this is your first time here, thank you very much for coming. Subscribe if you dig it, because I'm going to keep making more of these. And I appreciate everybody so much, and I hope everybody has a great day. See you next time.